Hallo meine lieben Deutsch-Haben-Lerner, Kirsten hier und heute machen wir eine Einführung zum Thema Passiv. So an introduction to the passive voice in German. And what you need to know is that we have two different passives in German. Let's start with the first one. Well, you already see the number one here. It's called the Vorgangspassiv. So I think the second part is clear, passive. And the first one is Vorgang. Vorgangspassiv means something is in action. So Vorgang can be translated as an action or also in German Aktion. So down here we have the rule how to actually form this Vorgangspassiv. So we start with a subject. The abbreviation I chose is obviously S. Then plus werden in a conjugated form. Depending on which passive you want to choose, you would either conjugate the present tense, simple past, past perfect, and maybe even future, and so on. So we go into detail later on. Then we have an object, which is optional. And what you definitely need is the PPP, so das Partizip Perfekt Passiv, past participle of your verb, in German also often referred to as Partizip 2, because Partizip 1 is usually the participle in the present active, and here we need the passive as we want to form passive. So we have a subject once again, a conjugated form of werden, optional, you can put an object and your past participle. And as sometimes some people have problems with my handwriting, our Beispiel down here is therefore typed. Our sample sentence is for a Vorgangspassiv, das Auto wird repariert. Now let's break this down a little bit in the paths I have just explained. So we would start with our subject, and our subject in this passive sentence is das Auto. So neutral, therefore you have the article das, and Auto is our subject. So then the famous werden conjugated in the present tense here is the wird part. So for third person singular, das Auto, it, so the car, it, therefore wird, conjugated third person singular once again, and you simply conjugate it in the present tense. So I put a P here for Prädikat. Prädikat means conjugated verb, and also it's the present tense. And the last part is our repariert, which is the PPP, and I'm going to make the abbreviation here P2. So Partizip 2, participle of the past of the infinitive, let me put it here, reparieren. So the past participle of reparieren is repariert. The wird again is the conjugated form of werden, and our subject, that's easy, that's das Auto. Now, if you remember, I said up here we can make we can put an optional object. So for instance, if I want to say the car is being repaired by the mechanic, so the by agent. In German we could also put this, and then I would put it after the werden. So, and I would then say das Auto wird, and let's put the object down here, vom So vom, pulled together from von dem, Mechaniker, so dative object, indirect object, Mechaniker repariert. Das Auto wird repariert, is perfectly fine. Vorgangspassiv, present tense. Or if you want to, you can of course say, das Auto wird vom Mechaniker repariert with an additional dative object. So, let me put it here. DO stands for dative object. Alright, the second passive I want to quickly talk about today is the other passive we have in German, is the Zustandspassiv. So, Zustand means, condition, either condition or state. And it forms a little differently than the Vorgangspassiv. We, once again, of course, need a subject. But then we don't take werden, but sein. So we conjugate sein, and the last part is the same again. It's the PPP or the Partizip 2 participle, past participle in English. So, once again, Subjekt plus konjugierte Form von sein plus Partizip 2. And, of course, also for this one, ein Beispielsatz. Same one, basically. Das Auto ist repariert. So, it's the condition. It is repaired. So, nobody is taking action, but it's the state. It is in repaired condition. Not so difficult if you paid attention in the last sentence. Das Auto is, of course, our subject. You see that we have passive present tense here once again. The ist is the conjugated, present tense conjugated form for the third person singular, as once again, Auto is it, es ist, so Präsens, and repariert, the Partizip 2 once again. Here, no optional object, just like this. As it's the state, the condition of the car, it is repaired. Das Auto ist repariert. Now, that's basically all I want to focus on today. Next time it's going to get interesting, as I'm going to show you how to actually form the passive voice sentence when taking an active sentence, and then seeing what steps to take, how to get the passive. Alright, everyone. Das war's für heute. Ich hoffe, es hat euch gefallen. And if you like the sentence, please like on YouTube, or also share, recommend Deutsch Happen as a channel. And I see you next time for more passive sentences. Take care, everyone. Tschüss. Bye-bye.